and gentlemen, welcome back to the best television show not on television, Awthentik and The Beard. I am one half of your host today. I go by the name of Awthentik. Y'all know what it is, man. It's been a tough little stretch here for the New York Giants, man. Got another tough game coming up this week, man. I've had a pretty good couple of days here, man, since Tuesday. I'd like to say that Monday and Tuesday were some of our best streams that we've probably ever done, man. A lot of football talk, a lot of life talk. It's been really good chopping it up with y'all, man. Had a blast. Today I was chopping it up on Twitter, and I put out a tweet about Kadarius Toney because I noticed something about Kadarius Toney when I was reviewing some of the footage from the game last Sunday. And when Saquon Barkley turned his ankle, first person right there, Kadarius Toney. When Daniel Jones got knocked out on the sideline with the concussion, or on the goal line with the concussion, Kadarius Toney right there. So I put up a tweet today talking about that. And shout out to at Pilgrim's Point. He also dropped a new video today from NY Giants Rush. He does those back and forth videos for Giants fans. They're really hilarious. I definitely recommend checking those out. But he was in my DM and he was like, bro, that tweet is going really far, man. I went and looked at the numbers on it, man. There was like 1,200 likes on that thing, like mad retweets, mad people in the comments talking about that. Seems like Giants fans are really finding a love for Kadarius Toney, man. And I'm here for it, man. I love it. Kadarius Toney seems like he's going to be a great player for the New York Giants to come here. If you haven't, make sure you go check out The Beard, man. He just did a podcast with rapper Big Pooh from Little Brother. That's a Ninth Wonders group with Fonte and Big Pooh. And they were on the Big Douglas Show. Big Pooh is a co-host on the Big Douglas Show, man. So make sure y'all go check that out. Go support that. Blow up that comment section, man. Let them know you there. Maybe put a hashtag for Awthentik and The Beard. Let them know you there to represent. And you in the building. Wanted to start the show off one time by sending out a special shout out to my homie Desiree. It's her birthday today. She's actually in town from Hawaii. She's been out there doing her thing. Looking forward to seeing her tonight if I can make it out after this football game for sure. And I was telling The Beard before we got on air that I got some new beats, and he was like, man, I need to hear them, man. And I was like, not yet. Got to pump the brakes just a little bit because I think we might have a new Awthentik album on the way here, man. The albums normally start with like one good beat, one good song, wrote some lyrics to this thing. So, man, I'm hoping to maybe have another album out before the year's end, man. We'll see how it goes. But without further ado, man, let me bring in the strong side to the Awthentik left side, my brother, The Beard, man. How you living one time, brother?
Well, I'm doing a lot better now that there is a possible new Awthentik album in the works. But look, listen, all right. If we're going to have a new Awthentik album, I think it's only right with the success of Awthentik and The Beard currently that we go back to the roots and we have a Madcap feature on the album.
Hey, I'm liking that. You know, I thought about that with the last project. I was like, man, this album's kind of going in a wild direction, but I do got to get a verse from you. I think the last time I heard you spit a verse was the bachelor party at when we went to Kentucky and we hit up all those
Churchill Downs.
We was at Churchill Downs. I was looking kind of crazy in my old suit. I remember that suit was a little bit oversized. I don't know if you remember, bro.
Yo, we were down in Churchill Downs and it was lit.
Yeah,
it was a party there. Remember, I won Best Dressed at the party at Churchill Downs.
You did.
And they brought me on the stage and everything.
It's been a while since I really seen you, do it up like that. I forgot you used to have all those suits, but then your wardrobe kind of took a hit when you lost all that weight, I remember, and all those suits you had from back in the day, They wouldn't fit no more. So I don't know what the suit game looking like now, but yeah, we was definitely in Churchill Downs. We was out Kentucky doing our thing, man. We hit up Jim Beam, we hit up Bullet, we hit up Willet. And I think there was like one or two more whiskey distilleries we hit up, man. We had a blast out there. Shout out to Mark, man, who actually, man, want to send some good vibes to Mark. He lost his pet, his dog, just a couple of days ago, Sandy, who he's had like since I can remember, man. So just wanted to send you some positive vibes. I know that losing a pet is super difficult, man. It's just not a good look, man. So yeah, big shout out to the homie Mark, man. But yeah, man, I wanted to ask you a couple things about what's going on in Washington right now. We know that with all the John Gruden information coming out, we've been a little bit focused on the investigation that's been happening with the Washington football team and whatnot. And I thought it was kind of a little bit of a sleazeball move for them to retire Sean Taylor's jersey this particular Sunday, when what I heard is last week was the worst attendance that they've had in like some odd weeks and whatnot. What's your thoughts on the Sean Taylor retirement of his jersey, outside it was deserving. Obviously, we know that
Yeah.
he deserved that for sure. But what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's been a long time coming, obviously. So, big shout out to Sean Taylor, his family, his legacy in general. Nobody's really worn that number, so it's kind of like been unofficially retired for this time. But it's just it is weird timing. I don't necessarily think that the timing of the actual ceremony is weird. It's just the way that they announced it, because it's obvious. It's not like they just decided, hey, today we're going to retire his number. Like, it's been in the works for a long time, because, in order for something like that to happen, like, there's a process that you have to go through, like the family's going to be there and everything like that. So it's not like they literally just decided, right? And I think because of the way that they rolled out the announcement, that people kind of forgot that, and they probably were just like, oh, well, they're just going to retire his jersey because of all the stuff that's going on. Like, it's been in the works for a long time.
Yeah.
I just think they botched the announcement completely.
Yeah, the rollout was pretty bad.
Like,
and they came out with an apology today too. I noticed they said something about they apologized for the 3-day notice. Of letting fans know. And yeah, it's really interesting. And we know that Landon Collins wore that number 21 when he was with New York. And when he went over there to Washington football team, that was clear case that he wasn't going to be wearing that number. I think he went to 26 this year or something like that, or last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say.
So
but I mean, Sean Taylor, well-deserved.
It was just really awkward more than anything. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was just kind of like one of those things that, like, the camel's back been broken here in Washington. The straws, the floor is full of straws, and the camel's on the floor, the back broken. The camel needs a bacchiotomy, because, it's just one thing after another. So I think that, when things like that happen, the fan base just kind of erupts, and it just reignites, these feelings they have towards the organization. But what bothers me the most, and I'm not going to harp on it too much tonight, because we're up against a hard out with the football game, but you can have that feeling towards Dan Snyder, right? And towards the way that the organization has been run, for the past whatever many years up until now. But don't be like, I'm not going to root for this team, and I'm not going to be a fan, and this and that. Like, to me, it's just is bogus. It's whack. It's a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Because, these players, to most people may want to try and argue otherwise, but these players go out and they put it on the line every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, football is, no matter how safe they try to make it, it's a gladiator sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes can go out there, tear their leg up and never play again. And then, it's just in the nature of the business, they might not see all the money that they were supposed to see because of that injury. You know what I'm saying? And then even to mention the stuff that's going to happen down the road with their body and their minds, years after they finish playing the game. So it's like, you got to have a little bit of respect for those players that are wearing a jersey for the team that you've rooted for, your entire life, basically. And to me, it's just like, that's something I wanted to get across to the people, is be like, I understand your frustration. I understand your hurt, your pain as a fan of this organization. Trust me, because I've been here. My first football game was at RFK Stadium. I remember being at RFK Stadium, and I got a picture of me decked out in vintage Redskins. I wish I still had, you know what I'm saying? But like, I remember what it was like as a kid, just being like in awe, because the stadium would literally shake, and they would have these steel stairs, and everybody would be stomping on the steel stairs. When did
they build FedEx, and when did RFK go away?
I think it was right when Jack Kent Cooke passed away. I can't remember the exact year off the top of my head.
So was that like early 90s, or was it like after that?
No, it was after the early 90s.
It was after that, because my first football game that I ever went to was a Washington football team game too. I want to say it was up against the Dallas Cowboys, and it was me, Serge, and Ahuma coming out of Einstein in my freshman year out of football practice, and we bumped into, I can't remember his name. I want to say his name is Marcus something. He was a linebacker that y'all had, who most of his tenure was with the Kansas City Chiefs, and then y'all picked him up like kind of late in his career. I can't remember his name. But he was in the McDonald's, and Serge recognized him, and he ended up getting my phone number somehow. This was when cell phones really weren't a thing. Like, people were just getting cell phones, and he called my house, 593 number, called the
I
crib,
remember 8604.
and he was like, "Yo, I need to talk to Awthentik." And he's like, "Yo, I got tickets for you, waiting for you. They'll be at the box for you." And we thought it was a big joke, man. And we ended up going to our first game there too. It wasn't a Giants game for me, but it was really cool to get my first taste of like football, being at that at a Washington game and whatnot. And the one thing I wanted to say about the Sean Taylor thing too is a lot of people are always like, I don't root for the names on the back of the jerseys. I root for the name on the side of the helmet. I hear that a lot across YouTube, and I'm totally the opposite, man. I root for the players, and I think with a lot of what's going on right now with the John Gruden situation, I see a lot of people who have been in defense of John Gruden trying to make a point of like, well, we can't just single out John Gruden. There's other things that happen in the NFL, especially a lot of African Americans I've talked to, speaking on ownership and a lot of grimy things that have gone on with ownership. And if we're going to support, then support. Well, for me, it's been I always support the players that make up the team. That's always been my thing. And the Giants being a perfect example of when they re-signed our kicker. I want to say his name was Jake Brown or John. I think it was Jake Brown, but his last name was Brown, and he had a bunch of domestic cases where he was beating his wife and stuff. And I thought that was awful for them to re-sign him, and I'm looking at the organization a little bit crazy. And I've always been a guy to just watch players. And, that's why I have a profound respect for a guy like Sean Taylor, because when it came time to get it done on the field, everybody's been talking about dogs this week and alphas this week, especially after the show we had on Tuesday talking a lot about Carl Banks. Sean Taylor's the definition of a dog, man. And it's unfortunate that his life was cut short, through violence, man. And I think it's just a good example to show people, in this world of like good people don't deserve those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to Sean Taylor. I think it's well deserved that his jersey is going to be retired. And it also made me see something or brought my attention to something that the Buffalo Bills, man, in their stadium in that Ring of Honor, you still see O.J. Simpson up there at the top, and I thought that's kind of crazy.
I saw somebody tweet about that.
That's exactly what I saw.
They just took out Gruden from the Ring of Honor in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's time to maybe think about OJ for that.
It's a wild world, man. And it's just like I retweeted this. If you get a second, go to my Twitter and watch the Louis Riddick tweet that I put up, because he was the one who scouted and drafted Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
And he was the main reason why Washington drafted him over Kellen Winslow Jr. So it was just interesting to relive that clip where he was describing, why they drafted him. Like, it's a crazy story. And don't forget, the organization definitely has taken care of, Sean Taylor's family, and there's never been any bad blood between the family and the organization. They just botched it. It's just bad, logistics of this whole situation. So hopefully the ceremony will, kind of remake, it won't be able to make up for it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, at least it'll hopefully be tastefully done to where it's well represented of what he deserves. You know what I'm saying? As far as his jersey.
Yeah, and I wish we had a little bit of heads up. It would have been really nice to get
out
there to go see it. But,
I think that's what everybody's upset about.
Yeah, of course, and that's where they botched it. It's terrible. If they knew they were going to do that, they should have at least announced that, hey, this is happening within the first 8 weeks of the season, to keep people on their toes and keep people prepared. But before we move from that topic, I did want to highlight this comment from Lax044, one of our day ones in the building one time. Shout out to Lax in the building. He says, my question is, if they can release the emails on Gruden and Schefter, why haven't any been released about Dan Snyder? He was the target of the investigation in the first place. I really don't know. Maybe it's just so much dirt. They're trying to compile it all right now. And to my knowledge, you can't really fire an owner, but we do know with the situation that happened in basketball with Donald Sterling, you can force him to sell his percentage of the team. And Dan Snyder is majority owner, right?
They did it with Carolina Panthers recently. They had to they forced their owner out because of some, I believe he was doing
Dan
some
Snyder is
racist
100.
stuff.
He is the majority owner on your team, right?
They bought out the minority owners.
Yeah, so
really
and I don't know what happened
situation.
in Carolina if any of the details that came out with Carolina. But I don't know. I think maybe it's just so much because we know, I mean, with the cheerleader situation on the island and the private people going over there to watch them, and then those pictures being leaked and a lot of that having to do with Gruden. I'm a little bit surprised that the information on Dan Snyder hasn't came out yet either. They really haven't given any explanation for it. But I think it's going to come out sometime soon. I really do.
It's 600,000 plus emails, so
yeah,
I'm sure they'll start to trickle
and was
out.
that for the 6,000? Was that for the whole entire
600,000?
Oh, 600,000 because they said 6,000. I thought with Gruden, so that's what I wanted to clarify. So 600,000 with the Washington football team, and I think I heard it was 6,000 with Gruden, and we know that Bruce Allen had a lot to do with that situation with John Gruden, which I don't know what's happening with Bruce Allen either. But man, it just screams sketchy across the board. It's unfortunate that the people who have been affected by this have to deal with this kind of stuff. And I've always been one that's like, man, the whole cheerleading situation, and we can put a wrap on this kind of topic here. The whole cheerleading situation in the NFL to me has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I always have conversations with people, near and dear to me about it. I just think that like breeding children to become cheerleaders is a strange thing. It's really weird that you have football players playing on the field, and then you have women and children that are, bred to cheer on what's happening. To me, it just screams a little bit of like, I don't know, it's just like too dominant on the man aspect of things. And I've never liked seeing cheerleaders on the sidelines. I mean, yeah, they're beautiful and all that, but I just think that it's just like when I look at the Dallas Cowboys situation with their cheerleaders and LA Lakers and stuff like that, there's just a portion of it that just screams like kind of sleazy to me a little bit. And then their pay is just
ridiculously.
Their play is just a disgrace to how they pay these women. I heard it was something like $150 or something like that, and then they got to make $150 a game, and then they have to make like commissions on doing these calendars, which in return kind of talks about like the Washington football team taking them over to that island or whatever and taking the pictures and leaking those pictures. It's just the most crimiest thing. So I hope everyone who's doing dirt in these situations, I hope all that dirt comes to light and we really get to know the whole situation when all's said and done. And I kind of feel for you and the rest of the Washington football team fans that, have to deal with these things and root for a team that is dealing with this kind of stuff, man. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, so hopefully, things will – I mean, we've been waiting, but, one day at a time, hopefully they can right this ship sooner rather than later. I guess I'm going to say some hellos to some people in the chat really fast before we kick off the first game. Big shout-out to Waterfly in the building, always holding us down. I'll tell you what, that sounds really good. Medium rare steak with some sweet potatoes and ginger broccoli.
Yeah, dude.
I'm all about it. Mac the Giants fan is in the building. What's going on,
Mac? Hey, shout out
Great
Mac the Giants fan one time, man.
Yeah,
I saw him.
Video.
He dropped a new video today?
Yeah.
That's what's up. So make sure y'all check out his new video. But I saw him last night on whose stream was that I was in? Was that Pest stream? I can't remember whose stream I saw you in last night, man. It wasn't the Hub. It was somebody before. Oh, it was Big Pat. Shout out Big Pat. And that stream got super heated. I don't know who was maybe in our chat that was in that chat. That stream got heated. But Mac the Giants fan, shout out to Mac, man. He was dropping some really good points. And Mac, I really like your setup, bro. I'm real proud of you, bro. Like I remember when you first reached out to me in DM talking about the setup and whatnot, man. You doing your thing right now. So everybody make sure you go sub up to Mac the Giants fan and The Beard. I found out something the other day. You know how they removed the 3 dots from the chat? How you could click the 3 dots and see somebody's channel. But what you can do now is if you see somebody in the comment section, you can click on their picture and it'll take you right to their channel. So I thought that YouTube's doing us a little bit of justice with that. So big shout out to Mac the Giants fan, man. That stream, man, with G Nation and all them, that one, it got crazy yesterday, I would say that. And you are starting to see the frustration of New York Giants fans not getting wins and the fans kind of going against each other a little bit, trying to figure out what's really wrong with the team. I think at the end of the day, man, we can't really figure out what's wrong with the New York Giants, but we can definitely give our opinions on it for sure.
Big shout out to Marjorie, always holding us down in the chat. Marjorie had a nice tweet today, and it's a little bit of a good nugget that I'm going to bring up in the Giants-Rams section. So shout out to Marjorie. Big shout out to Sunday, always holding us down in the chat. We appreciate it for sure.
Shout out to Sunday one time.
And the man, the myth, the legend, Lucas checking in from Australia. What is going on? Morning, top
Lucas,
of the morning to you. My man Joel's in the building. What's going on, Joel? Great to see
Giants
you, brother.
Nation in the building,
Max
baby.
Webster's in the building. What's going on? Zach is in the building. My man
Hey, what's up,
Kyle
Zach?
Key, our
Key
resident
in the
Houston
building.
Texans
Everything is good.
fan. Mr. Mini Guy, Braden, Big Heart, both in the building.
Giants
No
Nation
Mets,
in the building.
no
What's
Nets,
up, y'all?
no Jets is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Afghanistan,
What's up, fam?
oh baby, yeah.
What up? What up?
In the building.
Yeah.
Lax 044 is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Real
what up, Lax?
people's in the building.
Yes, sir.
Jay
Plenty of real
Jean
people
is
in the building. Yes,
building.
sir. Jay Jean, yes, sir.
Shout out to-
I saw Jay Jean said something about the Timism when you said Bacchiatomy. That's actually
yeah?
from Half Baked.
From Friday. From Friday.
No,
Yeah.
Bacchiatomy is Half Baked.
No,
It's
it's
one-
Friday.
Okay, now I got to turn the beat down. 1,000% Half Baked because look, when he's
Oh no,
talking,
you're right. You're right. You're
when,
right.
Mr.
I'm
Nice
thinking
Guy,
of. I'm thinking of my neck, my back. I
Right.
thought it was when. I thought it was when the crackhead fell in the aisle in Friday. Am I tripping?
Nah. Look, it's when Dave Chappelle goes to see Mr. Nice Guys to serve him the first time,
Yeah.
right? And he's telling him about his whole life. And he's just
Doctor
like,
said I
he's
need
like,
a
"Lord,
bacchiatomy."
pray for me. And he said, the doctor said I need a bacchiatomy. Yes, sir. So
Well,
if you ain't seeing Half Baked, make sure you go check out Half Baked. That's a classic.
Big shout out to the homie Leroy. Blood, Sweat, and Cell is in the building. Appreciate you stopping by, brother.
Big facts,
who else
big
is
facts.
in? Big shout out to Reseller Niche. Appreciate you stopping by, brother.
Oh, what's up, fam? How you living? I like that
appreciate
profile
everybody.
picture. That was clean. That was clean right there. Real clean profile pic. And you all good now.
All right, and then Bluegrass Pickers in the building. Shout out to Anthony. Appreciate you
Day
stopping
one.
by,
Always
brother.
holding us down, Anthony. We appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Chicago Bears fan Joe Deals is
Joe
in,
Deals
the
in the
building.
building. Yes, sir.
What's going on? Joey G Sports. What's good,
Hey,
Joey
Joey
G?
G
Oh,
in the
It's
building.
a new name, right?
I think so. I'm not too familiar with the profile pic, but yeah, you know you welcome in the building one time. My man Miz in the building one time. Miz was on Big Pat,
Miz,
killing it
we
yesterday.
Appreciate it.
And if you go back and you look at our Week 5 recap, Miz posted his link in the comment section. Go check out his video. That is an epic video, man. Salute to the homie Miz. Miz been saying it since day one, yo. The trenches. We need people on that offensive line. It's going to be a problem this season. A lot of Giants fans didn't want to hear that with the shiny new weapons up front. But Miz was 1,000% right, man. And, yeah, appreciate the look on the hat, man. This joint just came in on Tuesday, I believe it came in after the gig. And, yeah, psyched about this hat. You know, I got to find a way to kind of, like, revive the season for me. You know, sitting at 1-4, I needed some new drip. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm going to go take a couple of photos with the jacket, the Carl Banks jacket, this hat, the Nike Dunks. Keep your eyes out on Twitter, man. We're going to have definitely some fly drip in the photos
shoot.
one time.
I got to go
yes,
get
sir.
in shape up, man.
Yeah,
About
let me
that
know,
time
bro.
again.
Yeah, man.
And I love everybody dropping all the half-baked lines in the chat now.
You're cool. Shout out Dan
Squirrel
in the
Master
building.
in the jail.
Yo, Squirrel
man.
Master, you ever looked at the back of a $20 bill? Yeah, man. Great movie. Great
Oh,
movie, yo.
man.
Great movie, yo.
Whew. It's time to talk football now.
All right, man. So let's get it, man. First game, man. Cowboys at Patriots. There's no denying that Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are currently standing as one of the league's most impressive teams right now. Despite losing to the defending champions in the season opener, the tide quickly turned in Texas, and they've been unstoppable ever since. Man, the story continued in Week 5, man, cruising up and down the field without a struggle against the New York Giants defense. 515 yards later and a final score of 44-20 versus my New York Giants put an end to another chapter in the Cowboys season, which has been a showcase for Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott reached the end zone on the ground and through the air, totaling for 112 yards, while Prescott threw for 302 yards, 3 scores. Impressively, Zeke now has 100 yards in 3 consecutive wins right now. First time since 2019 for Ezekiel Elliott. The Cowboys are sitting comfortably in first place in the NFC East. The Cowboys seemingly have the division on lockdown with 4 back-to-back wins. 4 back-to-back wins for the Cowboys, man. They are repping for Texas proper right now. They're heading into Patriots territory. It won't be an easy task, but does Bill Belichick have the capability of figuring out Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys? I'm going to start with you, The Beard. What you thinking, man?
Well, since you said his name first, I'll drop the first nugget of the night. Bill Belichick's record against the Dallas Cowboys: 5 wins, 0 losses.
Ooh, you just jinxed it. You just did it like Graham Gano, 40 straight kicks. He's lining up for the 47-yard field goal. It's up. It's no good. I think that the Cowboys are probably going to get to that 5-1 right there simply off the fact you just jinxed them.
I knocked on wood.
Okay, you did knock on. Okay, I give you that. I give you that. What else can we
But
do?
no, yeah,
man?
Bill Belichick is 5-0 against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this is really just going to be a matchup between Dallas's offense and New England's defense. We know Dallas's offense is absolutely insane. They are averaging 34 points per game, but New England's defense is only allowing 18.4 points per game.
And they haven't played the best competition. The Patriots, I don't got the games off the top of my head, but I feel like they haven't really played too many high-powered offenses outside of the Bucs, which they got lucky. It was pouring down rain in that game, so they were able to stay close with the Bucs for sure.
Yeah, and also Dallas hasn't really played anybody except for Tampa Bay. So
yeah, I'll give you that. Oh,
so
no. What about the LA Chargers?
Okay, yeah, they played the LA Chargers, but they didn't put up that many points against LA Chargers.
True.
I don't even think they scored 20 points in that game, right? Wasn't it like 17-13 or something
20
like
to
that?
17 was that game, yep. But I was just simply replying to they haven't played anybody.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, the team they did play, it's not like but the Chargers defense ain't really that crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
and they did catch them early on in the season. And who they got wins against us, the Eagles,
Carolina,
and Carolina. Carolina's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Verdict's not out yet on Carolina.
Yeah, so with the Patriots offense, though, that's what's going to be super interesting. Now, with the Cowboys giving up the most yards, is it most or second to most? They're 31st in passing yards allowed per game. They're allowing 311 passing yards per game. Okay, so but they do have 10 interceptions on the season. So with Mac Jones, it's really going to be about not making mistakes, not turning over the ball. That's going to be huge. But maybe a lot of dinking and dunking to get down the field, some play action, open up, maybe take a shot down the field. But you got to be really careful. You can't turn the ball over because that's what's really going to hurt them. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, Hunter Henry's been coming along for the Patriots. He's got a touchdown in his last two games.
He failed me on that Monday night game in the rain.
Yeah.
That was against the Bucs, man, and it seems like the problem with him is that the tight end room is very crowded because they got the other kid. Is it Jonnu over there? Jonnu Smith. So they kind of like balancing the tight ends, two tight end sets every now and again, but they're fighting to see who can stay on the field when they're in the one tight end set. Yeah,
so it's that's going to be a battle to see, but it's interesting because they spent all that money in the offseason on Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
And they haven't really, but as a total, the New England team hasn't really produced touchdowns. They've only scored 8 touchdowns all year long.
The Patriots.
And the Patriots, yeah. And I'm pretty sure the Cowboys have scored 21 touchdowns so far this year.
Yeah, the Cowboys are second in scoring in the NFL right now.
Yes, and New England's defense is 5th against the run and 5th against the pass. So
those matchups that they've played already are not,
they're not great. I see it right there.
Dolphins, Saints have been okay. Texans are booty, and the Bucs, pretty decent.
So I mean, obviously, we could throw all these stats out the window once they get on the field. But if I'm looking at it, I always look at the stats not necessarily as like the backbone of something, but trying to identify ways and areas in which the other team might be able to have some success because, I mean, it's clear that the Cowboys are a better team than the Patriots. But, if the Patriots want to win this game, they're going to have to, limit the turnovers. They're going to have to somehow stop the Cowboys offense. And we talk about it every week now after, they finally started getting that run game going with Zeke and Pollard. I mean, Zeke, ever since I said Zeke is no good anymore.
Yeah.
He had one bad week, and I was like, I told y'all. And then after that second bad week he had, it was like,
so it was like, I didn't say that. What are you talking about?
Who didn't say that? I said that.
I'm saying that's how you was acting like.
No, not me though. I put my crow on a platter, put some hot sauce on it, and ate it. You know what I'm saying? But
oh my God.
So look, that's how it's gonna this game is going to end. If the Patriots want to win, they're going to have to figure a way to stop the Cowboys offense. And that's going to be super difficult. Because
I mean, you
if
talked
you
about
stop
the
the
Chargers
pass,
game. That's 20 is the best. That's the worst the Cowboys offense has performed all year was that 20. Outside of that, they're balling, and 20 will beat the Patriots right now. The Patriots are 25th in the league in scoring right now. They're 26th in total yards. They're a bad offense. The Mac Jones experiment is not working right now. I think they should have hung on to Cam Newton.
I mean, I think most of us thought that. I don't know. Maybe they jumped the gun, or. Yeah, but
I'm wondering if they have any major injuries on the offensive line, because when I saw that offensive line play Monday night, it was bad. It was bad.
They were missing 3 starters on that game.
So maybe they could clean that up if they're getting healthier. Entering this game. I'm not too sure what's happening in the trenches with them, but their offense is not cut out to. And that's weird because Damian Harris is a pretty good running back. I thought he was going to be one of the guys at the top of the league this year, in a sneaky vibe, because Bill Belichick finds ways. That's New York Giants football for real, what Bill Belichick does over there. And they're not finding ways to run the ball.
Up.
He's banged up, and I was going to say another reason why the running game has been struggling is because James White hasn't been there. He's the kind of running back that can run and catch out of the backfield, keep defenses off balance, like I'm always talking about with the 2 running back system.
It's crazy, too, because Bill Belichick got the doghouse, and his doghouse is no joke.
Yeah.
So Ramondre Stevenson, who I was high on in the preseason, especially after watching him play. I mean, I was high on him coming out of college, but watching him play in the preseason, he broke that almost 100-yard run for a touchdown in the preseason.
Yeah.
And then he fumbled.
They all fumbled in that game. That first game, every one of the running backs fumbled.
He was gone. He ain't played. He hasn't played until this last week. And then the other one, JJ, what's his name? JJ. I forget his name, but then he fumbled, and you haven't seen him for a month.
Yeah,
so it's
you can't fumble, man. That's not a good trait to have as a running back, man. It's not, and they just seem to not have the guy over there, especially with James White hurt. And offensively, I mean, you put a young rookie quarterback behind a weak offensive line that doesn't really have much wide receiver talent either. Their best position as far as passing the ball is probably the tight end position. And from what I saw, I got to watch them heavy on Monday night. They didn't run a lot of 2 tight end sets. They did early on in the first half. They ran a few sets. But in the second half, you only saw 1 tight end out there. And in return, my fantasy team took a hit because of that, I don't know. I mean, I don't – just like you were talking about using the statistics as a backbone to kind of figure out maybe an angle for a team to win a game, I just don't see it. The Cowboys could come out here and turn the ball over 2-3 times. I mean, they turned it over twice against the New York Giants last week, and they still put up 44 points. They don't want to get into a shootout here with Dak Prescott. According to Zeke Elliott, he talked about this in an interview recently where he was talking about Kellen Moore, and he said that Kellen Moore said that the goal for this offense is to be the number 1 offense in the league. And, looking at it right now, Dallas is ranking at the top of the league in a bunch of offensive categories right now. Touchdowns, they're tied for first with 21. Total yards, they're second 21. With 2,198 yards.
21.
Rushing yards, they're second. They have 864 rushing yards on the year. Third down conversion percentage, they're second. They're converting on 51.6% of their third downs. And average yards per play right now, they're third at 6.5. I mean, I don't know where you're gonna stop.
My team could do that.
Oh, it'd be amazing. And wait till we get to your team, man. I looked at a lot of rankings today, man. I can't wait to get to the defense of the Washington football team. And then also Dak Prescott. I mean, as far as quarterbacks go, he's top of the league in completion percentage. He's second at 73.9 on a year. Can you imagine if Dak Prescott finishes the year anywhere around that kind of completion percentage with the yards he's putting up? Quarterback rating, he's second in the NFL right now at 116. And passing touchdowns, he's tied for third with 13 passing touchdowns. Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb both have over 300 yards on the season. Dalton Schultz leads the team with 26 receptions right now. Each of them has caught 1 pass of 30 yards or more. All those players I named. The Dallas Cowboys are on fire right now. Yeah. And honestly, I don't even know why I thought the Giants were going to be able to hang. A lot of people are saying oh, man, the score was 10-10 when Daniel Jones went out of that game last week. We were going to hang with them. Nah, man. That was with 2 turnovers in the first quarter. Okay, and the Giants scored 0 points off those turnovers. This game was going to get out of hand. The Dallas Cowboys were never even challenged by the New York Giants. Even with the score 10-10, I just felt like, man, they're about to score big here soon. And, it ended up happening. Giants lose that game 44-20. I can't see the Patriots putting up a better fight than the Giants, even when we had Mike Glennon in the game.
And so you think about it like this, then it's like you basically have to play a perfect game after everything that we just went over. That you said the Patriots would have to play a perfect game, and the Cowboys would have to play their worst game. That's That's pretty much what it comes down to. Okay, so let me ask you
and
this.
Still,
then.
the Patriots might lose.
So
up.
we always talk about how Vegas is pretty much always right?
Yeah, where they got this one at?
As soon as I said right, the first thing that came to my head was the montage of Joe Judge.
Oh my God, Joe! Yeah, I forget the homie who put that out. I ended up following him, and he also has a podcast. Man, that video was just awesome. He chopped up every time Joe Judge said right there in the interview. 32 times Joe Judge said right there in one 10-minute interview. And then he played Chingy. I like the way you do that right there at the end of the video. I thought that was
great.
classic.
It was
right
great.
There. That was awesome.
It was great. So, yeah, Vegas has this game at, I want to say it's -3.5. Dallas is only favored by 3.5 points.
What are you doing? What kind of drugs do they do in Vegas?
I mean,
all of them?
Everything that I used to do, probably.
I mean, that's crazy to me right there. That 3? You said 3?
3.5. Right now, Dallas is 3.5 point favorites.
That
the
sounds
over-under
like
is
easy
51.
money. Does that sound like the Patriots? The Patriots.
Shout out to the homie 718 Breaks. What's going on, Kevin? He's a Giants fan. What's up, brother? Great to see you, man.
Giants Nation in the building one time, man. Good to see you here, fam. The Patriots have only put up over 20 points twice this season, and it was 25. One time against the Jets, one time against the Texans. The Patriots are probably going to put up
back
10
against
points
the
in this game. Yeah, they almost lost that game. Davis Mills was looking real good. Didn't Davis Mills put up like 300-plus yards on them?
Yeah,
Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and the rest of this offense just put up 515 on the Giants last week. They might go out here and put up 600 on the Patriots this week.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so Vegas has to know something, right? 3.5? Like, after everything that you said, right, like, we just went over it. And in your mind, right, what would you have thought the line would have been? 6.5, 7, 10.
Yeah.
3.5.
I don't think the Patriots can hang with Dak Prescott. I really don't. I don't, man. And I mean,
it's
the
in New
Patriots
England.
are coming off a season last year that was underwhelming. And I know they thought that, with all the money they spent in the offseason and, new quarterback, all the problems were going to be fixed. People were calling Mac Jones, a young Tom Brady and all this, but that kid can't move.
Well, Tom, I mean,
that kid can't move. He gets the ball out quick, but we know Tom Brady's success. He always had a good offensive line over there.
Oh, man.
I'd say go put your money on the Cowboys in that game. That line's going to change by the time we get to Sunday watch.
We're gonna revisit this on the parlay.
Yeah, got to, because I think that line's going to change. I mean, the Cowboys are they just won 4 straight, 2 of them against solid teams, man. Embarrassed the New York Giants. You see the Patriots here struggling to beat teams like the Texans.
Mm-hmm. And that's Marjorie. That's what I was talking about. They are 5th in defense.
You said that.
But have they faced a team like the Cowboys to bring it back to Awthentic's point? The
only team is the Saints, really. The Bucs, you gotta take into consideration that was opening night. Or no, actually, that was with the Cowboys, I'm thinking. So Bucs and Patriots, you got to take into consideration it was pouring rain. That's what I meant to say there.
And it was the Brady return and all of that.
I thought that might have hyped up Brady actually to go put up 40 on their head. But the rain,
so did I.
They did a good job of containing them. And the rain, I don't know if you remember what that was looking like. It was monsoon vibes, right? The only other good team they faced is the Saints, and the Saints put up 28 on them. The Saints, we saw what they just did against Washington last week. What was it, 33?
Yeah.
And y'all are like one of the worst defenses in the league. So to me, that says a lot about the New England Patriots. Like, that's really not a good defense. When you playing teams like the Jets, you got a 25-6 damn near shutout against the Jets. And then the Texans, you struggled. Man, nah, I'm not seeing it. You struggled. They lost to the Dolphins, bro. And they only put up 16 points.
Was that with Tua?
I believe so. I think that was week 1.
Yeah, I think that was with Tua. So
I can't wait till we get to the parlay because, go put your money. If that line is anything under 6,
I'll call you on Saturday.
On the Cowboys.
Saturday night, I'm going to a DC United game.
Oh, for real? At the Audi Stadium?
Yeah, where you and I went to the DC Defenders.
Yeah, that was a good vibe over there. And I've been to a soccer game there too. That stadium's cool. I like it.
This is my first soccer game. I went to an international game at FedEx once.
Yeah.
With Josie and her dad. So we're going again.
I saw Dan
Josie's
in the
dad
chat asking about wearing other teams' jerseys.
Yeah, can't do it, won't do it.
I would do it. I've been talking to y'all about this a couple times, man. I'm just waiting for Odell Beckham to start balling out, and I'm gonna go get me that white Browns jersey. I promise. I promise. I need something to root for this year, man.
Man, I told you, 1-5 Indianapolis Colts, 2018.
Yeah, and we're 1-4 right now, right?
Yeah, and it's a 17-game season, so
you know what the Colts record is right now?
They're 1-4, right?
1-4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
saw
think
that.
either one of
Your
us is
disappointed teams.
We'll
see,
my
man.
disappointed teams were the Colts, and who was the other one? The Dolphins. Both of them 11-5 last season, sitting at 1-4. I can't remember what the Dolphins are sitting at right now. Somewhere bad.
So I mean, listen, before I give you my score and everything, I will say this. All right, because there's a lot of like vintage stuff that because I'm big into vintage. So for me, it's like if I could wear other teams' jerseys, I mean, there's definitely like a lot of ones. The only one that I think I probably would wear, obviously, is the vintage pinstripe Penny Hardaway Orlando Magic jersey.
Oh yeah, but you were a fan.
I was a fan. I was
a
Bullets fan, but I was a bigger fan of Penny.
Orlando. Yeah, same here. I was a big time. I wanted to be Penny Hardaway when I was young, man.
Big shout out to Tuto.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
$4.99 super chat says, Saluti, authentic legend. Stop by your office to pay our proper respects. And for all Giants fans around the world, slap all stinky Eagles fans losers.
Oh, man, I can't wait to meet Tuto, man. We appreciate you, Tuto, man. Appreciate your presence here, man, and just pulling up, chopping it up with us, man.
Got to give a big shout out to the homie Rio. Happy birthday to my brother. He is a Washington football team content creator. He just recently cracked 1,000 subs, I believe. So big shout out to him, man. He had Bad Dog on his channel now, on his first live.
That's dope.
So
I went and checked out Rambling with Rio late either last night. I'll be delirious in the middle of the night just looking at my phone. It was either late last night or the night before that because he asked about the cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I love the vibe over there on their podcast. That podcast looks amazing, man. So y'all make sure go sub up to Rambling with Rio. It's Washington football team content, from what I remember. And just a really cool vibe over there, man. He's got a really nice looking channel, man. So I'm looking forward to tuning into more of your content and more of your lives, bro. Appreciate you pulling up.
This is a good one, too. Old Tampa Bay Lightning. Listen,
yeah.
The original Vancouver Grizzlies and Toronto Raptor jerseys with the big graphics on them. I mean, those were sick, too.
I wasn't a fan of those Raptor joints, though. I'm going to keep it funky. It has its legendary place in, like, retro kind of vibes and whatnot. But I remember when those came out, I was kind of like, nah, I'm not really messing with those. I'll tell you some joints that I would definitely mess with. I would get down with like a creamsicle Bucks uniform. I totally would rock one of those. I'm a fan of orange. I don't know if y'all seen that on, when I'm rocking a little bit of orange. Shout out to my homie Will, who blessed me with that HSBN shirt. And I like those vintage Patriots joints too. Those red ones, I think those are fire with the 3-point stance logo on the shoulders. And one that I know I couldn't rock, but that I would totally rock if I was like not a Giants fan. The Thanksgiving Cowboys jerseys are fire. Ain't no doubt about it, man. The white ones with the stars up top. 80s Nuggets, love those. A lot of old school basketball jerseys were dope. Yeah, them 80s Nuggets ones. Trying to think of some other good basketball goodies out there. Seattle Supersonics vibes. I would totally rock me an old Ray Allen. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton. I would take any one of those jerseys. There's a bunch of fly jerseys, man. I told you on the last episode, man, like I used to like when Jay-Z would go on the tour and he would wear the basketball jersey or the football jersey according to the hometown he was performing in. It was dope, man. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of the whole like Mitchell and S era. I would totally rock some jerseys for sure.
As much as I want to pick the Patriots to win, I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a final score of 31-20.
31-20. That's not too bad. Yeah, definitely going Cowboys here, man. And I'm going Cowboys in a blowout. 41-13 Cowboys. Yeah. I mean, dog, you saw how they just did the Giants, man. The Cowboys ain't playing, man. I don't know if you noticed it.
I know.
The
Trust
Cowboys,
me. I have
the two
to
teams that I
notice.
bank on right now the most for blowouts is the Cowboys and the Bills. The Bills can, like, if they dominate a game early on, it's trouble. It is trouble for you. It's hard for teams to play behind when they're playing the Cowboys, when they're playing the Bills. Can't let these teams get early leads. And you see the Giants kind of kept things close in the first quarter thanks to some Dak Prescott turnovers and whatnot. And then they still put up 44 on us. So what should make me think that they won't put up 40+ on the Patriots? Bill Belichick on the sidelines? Nah, that's not the vibe. So yeah, give me the Cowboys in that one. I'm gonna say 41, 13. 41-13. Yeah.
I'm gonna revisit this on Sunday morning.
Oh yeah. That's that. And I mean, hey, if the Patriots hang, they're gonna surprise a lot of people. But that's a game that I would totally put my money on, man. And yeah, y'all make sure check us out on Sunday, 11 a.m. The parlay, man. We're gonna be chopping it up, talking fantasy football again. Miz has the Cowboys 27-23. I don't think it'll be that close. I definitely don't think it'll be that close.
Just over that 3.5 point spread.
Yeah, just over. Yeah, if it's 3.5, go put that bread. If you're a Cowboys fan, especially, and it's 3.5, yo, if you got like $550 in your bank account and you in college and you eat noodles and noodles, go put that $500 on the Cowboys. I'm telling you, they're gonna take care of business.
Oh man! So you got some Washington football team defense numbers for me?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch, man. I got a bunch of nuggets coming up here, man. boot nuggets one time, man. Definitely some boot nuggets for sure, man. Let's get to that super chat real quick, and then we'll get to that Washington football team game one time.
Big shout out to the homie Kevin over at 718 Breaks for the $20 super chat. Says our teams have been rough this year, boys. Have a bite, drink on me, help to ease the pain. I appreciate that, my man Kevin. So yeah, if you guys don't know and you guys are into sports cards, check out the homie Kevin, 718 Breaks on YouTube. He does breaks on YouTube. He's also got a website. I want to say it's 718breaks.com. If I'm mistaken, Kevin, put that into the chat so everybody can see what that website is. But yeah, definitely check him out. Great dude. He's hooked me up with some Washington football team cards before, like after I had already bought other teams. So big shout out to Kevin. I appreciate it, brother.
That's what's up. I didn't even know that was Kevin from the Facebook breaks and whatnot, because I've definitely
different one.
Oh, a different Kevin from the Facebook breaks. I got you. That's what's up, man. Y'all make sure to sub up if you're not subbed up to Awthentik and The Beard. Check us out on Twitter at Awthentik, the way I spell it, very funky. And The Beard is at Tim Walk on Water 2 on Twitter as well, man. Kevin, we definitely appreciate your presence here in the chat, man. Thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. We definitely welcome you here anytime, man. Any Monday, any Tuesday, any Thursday, any Sunday, and any other day we might be going live, man. I'm telling you, I'm trying to make this a full-time thing, man. I'm trying to talk Giants football every day. That's definitely the vibe, man. But let's get to this next game here one time. The Washington football team got the Chiefs coming to town here, man. This should be a really interesting one. The Washington football team is at home this week versus Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of fans would call this a winnable game. I don't know about that. We know the NFC East was not blessed by the schedule guys this season, but the Chiefs have had maybe the most difficult schedule through 5 weeks in all of the NFL. They had the Browns, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Eagles. That's a little bit of an easier game there. Washington is coming off a big loss last week to the Saints, where Taylor Heineke played his worst game of his career. Not saying much with the minimal starts he has had, but it was a rough day to say the least. Washington's defense is still struggling to get to the passer, and their secondary hasn't been much better. Patrick Mahomes isn't having quite a Patrick Mahomes-like start to the year, but his numbers are still better than most quarterbacks across the NFL. He's got 1,490 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. I would take that all day. Tyreek Hill's been balling out. He's got 2 games of 11 receptions and 180-plus yards, which is kind of ridiculous, man. The Washington defense is 27th against the pass, allowing 293 yards per game. The Chiefs' defense is 28th, allowing 296 yards per game. So we'll keep our eyes on both of these secondary units throughout the game. With Washington headed towards the tougher part of their schedule, what will be your plan of attack versus Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday? I believe this game is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It is. And you see what the over is on that game? 55.
I have not seen the over yet in this game.
55.5 points.
That's ridiculous, man.
Big shout out to Tuto for the $9.99 super chat. Says it's 1:45 a.m. and we should get up at 4 a.m. to hit 2 miles uphill incline, then 3 miles on the track, shower, breakfast, meeting, classes, workout, practice 5 days a week. Grind.
That is grind mode, Tudo. I'm trying to like schedule my life like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I be having too much downtime, and I just be kind of just bojangling, just BSing around the crib, not doing too much, man. So I need to like schedule out everything. Wake up, 12 o'clock, beats, 1 o'clock, workout, 2 o'clock, edit some videos, 3 o'clock, go live, 4 o'clock, Giants graphics, 5 o'clock, photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to line it up like that, man. But shout out to Tudo, man. I know y'all grinding out there with the rugby vibes, man. We need to sign Tudo and the rest of those Italian boys to get on this offensive line for these New York Giants, and maybe that defensive line for your Washington football team, bro.
Oh, so we'll see. So game plan for the Kansas City Chiefs for the Washington football team. So first of all, I got my eyes on the injuries. Tyreek Hill did not practice today for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's dealing with a quad injury.
You praying to God he don't dress for this game.
Yeah, right now he's questionable, okay? We already have seen how difficult it has been for the Washington football team with fast wide receivers. Last week, Harris and Callaway, they crushed us.
Yep.
No Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's out for this game. He's out for a couple weeks. He's on IR. So that's what I'm looking at first. Then turnovers. Washington football team has been really bad about forcing turnovers this year. Only 4 forced turnovers so far. But the Kansas City Chiefs lead the National Football League in turnovers. They've turned the ball over 11 times so far this year. So if Washington can find a way to force a turnover and, more importantly, capitalize on those forced turnovers, unlike what they were able to do last week against the Saints, where they didn't basically, I think they got 3 points on the turnovers against the Saints. So you really have to score touchdowns on that.
Yeah.
After that, Kansas City's rush defense is pretty bad. I mean, both of these defenses are bad all over the board. So it's no surprise that their rush defense is bad. Their rush defense they're giving up 141 yards per game on the ground this year. That's insane, especially considering that nobody's really running the ball over 100 yards a game lately these days like they used to anyways.
Yeah,
so
single backs aren't. Yeah, but combined, a lot of teams are over 100 for the year.
Yeah, and so for me, like, defensively, it's going, like, this is where you're going to have to be disciplined. We've lacked discipline all year long. And when I say discipline, I don't mean, like, stay out of trouble discipline. I mean, like, you got to know what your assignments are. No more miscommunications on the back end, the front end, know which gaps you're hitting. The defensive ends, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, they have to be controlled. Because if you start pushing too far on the outside and too far deep, Patrick Mahomes is going to eat you alive. He'll run for a first down. He'll step up. He'll make the throw. He'll throw on the run. He'll do all that crazy stuff that Patrick Mahomes does. So you really have to be playing smart football, especially on the ends in this game.
A lot of people in the chat here are saying that Travis Kelce's going to just destroy y'all.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. The middle of the field is our weakest point. Our linebackers are our weakest, part of our defense. So that's definitely going to be the case. But in all honesty, I'd rather have them, eat up with Kelce, in the middle of the field, as long as he doesn't get anything too crazy, and protect that back end so we're not seeing 70-yard touchdown passes. I feel like you have somewhat of a chance against that as opposed to the big plays to Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Pringle, and who knows, maybe even Josh Gordon. So my game plan for the Washington football team offense is going to be run the football. So I wrote it down. I want 20 to 25 pass attempts at most for Taylor Heineke. And then I want to see 35 to 40 run plays. So, split amongst Gibson getting the most. Gibson's averaging 4 yards per carry right now. So I'd like to see Gibson get anywhere between 25 and 30 carries, and then split the other remaining 10 to 15 carries between McKissick and Jarrett Patterson. And then Terry McLaurin has to get 100 yards receiving. We're 2-0 this year when he's gotten 100 yards. 0-3 when he hasn't gotten 100 yards.
So
that's my game plan.
That is a very
right there.
interesting thing, because limiting the amount of attempts from Taylor Heineke now, you're probably looking at maybe half the targets going to Terry McLaurin, I'd imagine.
Yep. So maybe like a big play.
Yeah, you're going to
maybe
need
a
a big
big play,
which Terry McLaurin's biggest
play
play of the
action.
year is a 30-yarder.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe
he's
he
going to
gets
step it up.
He gets 4 or 5 catches, around that 15 to 30-yard mark. Most of those coming off of the play actions. As long as we can run the ball well. I mean, obviously you could run the ball 35 times, but it has to be effective in order for, the play action to work off of the running game. So, but to me, ideally, that's the game plan. Is to have Heineke, pass it that amount of times and then run the rock heavy, play action to McLaurin. McLaurin gets 100 yards. Defense just has to play controlled football, be smart and force some turnovers and don't turn the ball over. I think a lot of that is why I want Heineke to have, not so many throws. I don't want him to feel like he has to win the game every time he throws the ball. So, I mean, listen, on paper in the preseason, this game looked like a definite loss. Even right now, it looks like a loss. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I feel like, Coach Beard has laid out a game plan for success for the Washington football team.
Yeah, I agree with a couple things you said there with the game plan. You're definitely going to have to run the ball. I think 40 might be a little bit, just a little bit ambitious. And only throwing it 20 to 25 times, but expecting Terry McLaurin to get 100 yards is going to be really tough. That means you're going to be targeting him a lot. I think you just no training wheels in this game, bro. Let Taylor Heineke do his thing. Have a balanced game plan. I think the number one thing that you guys got to do if you want to try to see a win is sustain drives. Because if you sustain drives, you're going to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines. And then when he does get in the game, he's going to be pressing for the big play. Kansas City Chiefs defense is not good. They're just not good right now. Their pass rush isn't good. They're terrible against the pass right now, and they're not great against the run. So for me, I'm looking for Washington to be able to do whatever they want at will offensively. I don't think that the Chiefs are going to be able to stop y'all, and they're going to have to rely on turnovers as well. The team that turns the ball over first in this game is going to lose the game. That's what I think. Because if Taylor Heineke turns the ball over first or y'all offense turns the ball over first, it's going to allow Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to kind of get where they want to be as far as a 2-score lead. Going up by 10, and this kind of goes back to some of the points that you brought up in last week's game plan where you were talking about Washington being poor on stopping teams on the first drive and also being very poor on scoring when they get the first drive. So I think that's going to be very important. If Washington wins the toss and they defer or whatever and they get the ball first, you got to score on that first drive. If the Chiefs get the ball first, you got to come out and make a stop and set the momentum early. This is a home game. Sean Taylor's jersey is going to be retired at this game. Excuse me. And I think it's important, the crowd is going to be hype in the beginning of the game. You do not want to deflate the air out of the stadium early on in that game. You want to keep the crowd behind you, use the crowd's home field advantage to your advantage. We saw it against the Cowboys in that last game. I mean, I can remember it just looked like Daniel Jones was just distraught the whole time he was out there on the field. It was so loud. And we saw it before that in the Saints game where he actually was able to, keep calm and keep his composure throughout a loud stadium. Can't forget that was a game where the Saints were coming back to their home stadium for the first time all year. So I think that's important. Home field advantage is definitely going to be a thing in this game. Don't allow your crowd to get, out of this game early by going down 2-3 scores, letting Patrick Mahomes just walk y'all like a dog. You got to stop Travis Kelce, I think, in this game. He's 30 catches on the year, 369 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 12.3 yards per catch. So you're talking about a first down every time he catches the ball. Can't allow that to happen. And we know the middle of y'all defense has been getting gashed up all year. Third down defense has been a problem for y'all. I remember y'all were ranked in the bottom 5 of the league entering last week. I don't know what it is right now. Takeaways has been a problem for the Washington football team. I got takeaway numbers here for every team. Washington right now is tied for 22nd in the NFL as far as takeaways per game, but there's only 4 teams that are worse than y'all as far as takeaways going. It's the Raiders, the Falcons, the 49ers. The 49ers, that was surprising to see them that low. Yeah. And we know Jacksonville Jaguars at the bottom. Jacksonville Jaguars have been terrible in the red zone, and they've been terrible trying to get takeaways. But I think that those are going to be the keys for Washington to be able to get a W. You really want to get Antonio Gibson going early in this game. Try to make him a factor and keep the defense, keep the Kansas City Chiefs defense off balance by bringing in McKissick, utilizing him in the screen game. Where the screens been the last couple of weeks? You haven't seen a lot of screens from Washington. I think that could be another thing that could, get you some yards. Terry McLaurin's definitely going to be the number one factor that the Chiefs are coming into this game thinking about stopping. So maybe it's time for some other guys to step up. Adam Humphries, The rookie, what's his name, De'Ami Brown.
And he did practice today. So that's a good sign. But Curtis Samuel did not practice.
Didn't practice. So. I mean, them hamstrings really, really hurt players, man. It seems like when they're nursing the hamstring, a lot of times another injury can happen, a calf injury or, some other leg injury. But I hope you guys can get Curtis Samuel to be healthy in this game because he could be a factor. When we were talking about weapons at the beginning of the season and we talked about Dallas, you were talking about Washington football team having the best weapons, before we played any games, obviously. And now that's totally changed. We know it. But Curtis Samuel was going to be one of those key factors as to why Washington had some really good weapons out there. I told you guys about Seals Jones last week. And he was targeted heavily in that game. I don't know how he fared, but I saw it when I was looking early on.
But it got called back. But yeah, he looked really good. What's interesting is that you said that Chris Cooley was on the radio today, I believe, and he was saying that he thinks that Ricky Seals-Jones is possibly a bigger playmaker than Logan Thomas is.
Yeah, he might be. Logan Thomas was a touchdown machine, and the one thing I did like about Logan Thomas last season, he didn't drop anything. He would not drop anything. And Seals-Jones, it seems like whoever's in the tight end department over there, I want to say, isn't that Wade Phillips' son?
Who? The tight end coach?
The tight end coach for y'all.
It might be.
I think that's who it is. Because I remember when I met Wade Phillips, he was talking about, that was 2 years ago, though. He was saying that his son, I think, was the tight end coach over there. But, you guys assess tight end talent really well. And it's guys that, they're not high on other teams' radars. Seals-Jones was a guy that, nobody was really looking to pick him up. And he plays the game very much like Logan Thomas. So I do think that this game could be a battle of the tight ends for sure with a lot of focus on the edges, on the outside as far as wide receivers go. We know Washington, don't let Tyreek Hill get behind you. We already know. You don't let the big plays happen. That dude is a machine, man. And people like to keep him out of the top 5 wide receiver kind of category in the NFL. But I think Tyreek Hill is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL because teams really got a game plan for him. And then we know with Washington, Terry McLaurin. And don't sleep on Mecole Hardman. You talked about Josh Gordon maybe being able to get involved in this game. So I think that your linebackers are going to have their work cut out for them. And same thing goes for the Kansas City Chiefs with their linebackers. I think that y'all defense probably has – it's weird because Chiefs offense has better weapons, I feel like, right? But y'all defense is a little bit better than the Chiefs defense. So I think this could be a balanced matchup as far as, the offenses versus the defense. But, yeah, look for the tight ends, both tight ends in this game to have big days.
How many 50-yard passes do you think Patrick Mahomes completes in this game?
I don't think many. I'll say I want to say
over
0.
under 1.5 50-yard completions.
Under 1.5. Under 1.5.
So only one? Okay.
Yeah, under 1.5. I think if they get a 50-yard, it'll be 1. That's it. None more than that. Because your defense is going to be playing probably a lot of soft zone. You don't want to get beat deep against this Kansas City football team. And when they can score fast, that's not a good recipe for your offense because if the Chiefs score fast, and if they score a couple fast, then you guys are going to abandon the run. You know how that goes in Washington. You're going to have Taylor Heineke trying to throw the ball. You don't want to see 3-and-outs with Washington after, some big plays are happening from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'd look for them to limit that, and keep things in front of them.
Big shout out to Tuto for the $4.99 super chat. Says we actually have several former U.S. Navy SEALs instructors in our athletic program, and they have been to major keys in our championship. I would imagine so, man.
Awesome.
I don't know if I could hang for that training at this point in my life. Maybe I could. I'm a natural born athlete.
The way you was talking about that gym a couple months back. I don't know.
So,
Tudo, you got to let me know who you play for, man. We got to shout you out one time, man.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Tudo, man, who's been killing the rugby game.
We could stream some Italian rugby, man.
Yeah, I want to check you out, man. I'm sure I could find it online. The way my streams is set up. I could find Tudo in his rugby
for sure,
team,
man.
Italy out there one time.
I could do
definitely
it. That'd
appreciate you dropping the super chat, brother.
All right,
so
score.
Let's go scores,
yeah.
man.
All right. I want to pick Washington to win, and I was dead set on picking Kansas City to win, and then the Sean Taylor jersey retirement story came out.
Braden says 4 or 5. I think he's talking about the 50-yard plays. Shout out Braden one time in the building. Look at you. It's like you don't want to be the guy who doesn't pick your team when they win, right?
No. That's why I totally 100% was going to pick Kansas City until the jersey announcement. You go first. You pick your score first.
I'll go first. I got Kansas City Chiefs. I think they win. It's not going to be like it'll be a dominant win, but it won't be one of those like where the scoreboard shows how large of a deficit the game really was. I'm looking for the Chiefs to win this one. They really haven't been putting up a ton of points a lot this year. I'm going to say 29-17 Kansas City Chiefs.
I can't do it. I got to be smart.
You don't got to be smart, man. You can always get the pass when it's your team every time.
That's not what we're out here for, man. Realistic, remember?
Yeah, except when it's your team, man.
37-34, Kansas City wins.
I mean, come on. 37-34, you might as well pick y'all to win, man. Come on, I'm trying to convince you. 37-34, come on. You got to pick your team to win that, man. All right, I ain't gonna press.
Maybe I'll go to my side Sunday morning, 11:00 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, you might change it up a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. So
Anthony says 41-31.
Make sure you guys join us Sunday morning at 11:00 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the parlay and see if Awthentik can convince me to go with my team.
This is how I feel right here. He said,
I know it
the
is.
Giants every week. I don't give it. That's facts, bro. That's facts, man. I look for any lane. Oh, we can maybe score this way. Oh, they got somebody hurt. I'm going with my Giants, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to hype the fans up one time, man. Even if we are 1-4, you know what it is. But let's take a little quick commercial break, man, and then we're going to, press the issue here. We got 2 games to knock out before we get to that 8:20 kickoff, I believe it is. And let's get a super chat real quick from Tudo, man. Tudo, we appreciate you, brother, one time. Oh, you got it.
My bad. Shout out to Tudo for the $4.99 super chat. He is 6'4", 245, 9% body fat. 5th year All-Pro, 2 times World Rugby Club champion, Defensive Rookie of the Year, 2-time MVP runner-up, nightmare for any O-line on the battlefield.
My man Tudo holding it down one time in the chat, man. We appreciate you, Tudo, pulling up, man. We got to chop it up with you yesterday on Big Pat's channel too, man. Definitely supporting this Giants community in a major way, bro. But we're going to take this quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with this New York Giants matchup.
Your wide receiver on IR? Aw, shucks. Your running back keep fumbling every week? Man, damn it all. Well, come chop it up with your boys. We are waiver wire tight. Awthentik and The Beard. Every Sunday morning, streaming live at 11 a.m.
Y'all know what it is, man. The parlay every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Shout out to my homie Sleepwalker for that drop one time. Damn it all. I love when he says that right there because that's
waiver wire tight.
Waiver wire tight, man. So the Giants are dealing with injuries at every position on the offensive side of the ball, man. I think it was like 8 of the 11 starters have been out since week 1. The Giants went to Jerry World last week and got the beating of a lifetime, 44-20 in a game where the Cowboys were never challenged. Definitely gets no easier with the Rams coming to MetLife for another tough matchup for the Giants. Matthew Stafford is coming off a 365-yard game last week, and I'm sure he was excited to see Robert Woods get back in the mix offensively. Woods finished the day with 14 targets, 12 receptions for 150 yards. We told y'all about that on the parlay. Little nugget that we gave y'all right there. And Cooper Kupp doing his thing all season. He added 7 catches for 92 yards. The struggling Giants defense will have to figure out a way to stop this high-powered Rams offense that has playmakers at every position. I got the inside scoop, man. I got some sources. He's a new source on the come up. Daniel Jones is 100% going to start on Sunday. In fact, I heard that he cleared the concussion protocol last Sunday during the game with the Cowboys, and the coaches decided to just not put him back in the game. Reverse on that, I hear that Kenny Galladay's injury is very serious. So we should expect him to be out for a couple of weeks. Sterling Shepard's going to be back. He was back at practice. I'm looking for Daniel Jones, Kadarius Toney, and Sterling Shepard to be a major part in this game. I want to start here by talking about the Giants' offense. We all know Andrew Thomas is the heartbeat of this offensive line. So if we don't have Andrew Thomas healthy in this game to protect Daniel Jones, it's going to be a problem. And I know we're running out of time here, so I'm going to fly through a bunch of nuggets for y'all here one time.
20 piece.
Aaron Donald, man, he's got 3 sacks on the year, 8 quarterback hits. We got to find a way. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got to find a way to stop him. It's going to start with stopping him up front. Definitely going to need Andrew Thomas to be out there one time. Red zone execution. The only 2 teams that are worse than the New York Giants in the red zone right now, there's only 2 teams. The Giants now are 12th in total yards, but we're 23rd in scoring. So there's a lot of teams that are tied for bad red zone play there at the bottom of the league. The Giants have scored touchdowns on just 6 of their 15 red zone trips. That's a 40% rate. That's the third worst in the NFL right now. Only the Patriots and the Colts have been worse in the red zone this season. The Rams, they have the best fourth down defense in the NFL, but their third down defense is the third worst in the league. I thought that was really interesting. The Rams are coming in with a really good defense. They're 30th right now in third down defense, allowing teams to convert at a 48.3% conversion rate, which is, I just don't get that because they're a pretty good team, defensively especially. Sean McVay is a damn good coach. We know that. And the Rams right now, we talked about this statistic coming into last week's game. They're 40-0 when they lead at the half, man. So if they're leading this game at the half, you know, you might want to just go turn on another game because the Giants aren't going to win this game if the Rams are leading at the half. The Rams they had lost 7 straight games to the New York Giants before Sean McVay arrived, which I thought was interesting. So it shows you that the whole turnaround with the Rams, I've been actually using the Rams as an example of how to build a team, not through the draft, because they've done a lot of trading out their first-round picks to bring in talent, people like Jalen Ramsey. They did draft Aaron Donald on that team, but there's a lot of other players that they brought in through free agency and through trades. And the New York Giants, I talked about that. We beat them 7 straight times. It spanned from 2002 to 2016, with 5 of those wins coming by at least 10 points, and that was when we actually had a defense. Right now, this Giants defense is awful. The defense ranks 31st in plays and yards allowed per drive. They're 31st in average drive time. Average drive time for the New York Giants defense is 3 minutes, 17 seconds. That is just god-awful. They've allowed the 4th most yards in the NFL, the 6th most rushing yards in the NFL. They're giving up 4.7 yards per carry. That's 28th in the NFL. Last time the Rams came to MetLife to play the Giants, guess what the score was, The Beard?
9-0.
51-17. They put up a total of 473 yards of total offense. It was 7-7 after the first quarter, and then the Giants proceeded to get outscored 44-10. And we lost that game 57-17. It was in 2017. There are a lot of correlations from 2017 to 2021. We all know 2017, that was the Brandon Marshall year. A lot of injuries on that team. We lost 3 wide receivers in one game. 51 points they scored. You taking the over or the under on that this Sunday? Rams 51.
By themselves?
By themselves. Yes.
I'll take the under.
Taking the under. I'm hoping that there is not a repeat performance from that game. I think that the keys to victory here, there's a lot of them. Stop Matthew Stafford. Stop Cooper Kupp. Stop Tyler Higbee. Stop Robert Woods. Stop Darrell Henderson. The Giants' defense is terrible, man. 29th in yards per game. We're allowing
everybody.
We're allowing 408 yards per game. 26th in points per game. We're allowing 27.5 points per game. 29th in opposing third down conversion rate. We talked about that one. 27th in rushing yards per game. 28th in sacks per game. We're only getting 1.6 sacks per game. There's only one team worse than us, and y'all get to play them this week, the Kansas City Chiefs. Taylor Heineke, air it out. You're going to have a lot of time. Giants defense right now, takeaways were awful, sitting at the bottom of the league right there with a bunch of bad teams, Washington being one of them. So for me, man, there's not a lot of, you know how you talk about stats as the backbone, trying to find a way. Yeah. You hear, I just gave you like a 30-piece nugget. I gave you a 20-piece and like 2 5-pieces right there. They forgot the barbecue sauce and the sweet and sour sauce. It's going to be very dry.
Back through the drive-through.
I'm going to just keep it 100, man. I don't see a way that the Giants can win this game. Yeah, I definitely convinced you to bet against the Giants this week. Shout out to Waterfly in the building one time. I'm going to give you my score right now, man. Oh, God. Braden, you're not going to like me for this, man. I don't think there's any way the Giants can win this game. I'm taking the Rams in this one. I think the Giants offense will get back to putting up a few points on the board. I think this one's going to be about 28-19 Rams.
After that whole speech you gave me about picking my team, I thought for sure you were going to be like, you see, Beard, this is what you got to do. I'm going to pick the Giants.
Man, you gave me about a 9-piece nugget. You know, you had some good sweet and sour sauce. You had some barbecue. Extra ketchup in the bag I didn't ask for. You know, but with that 30-piece right there, I just don't see a way, man. And the Rams offense, man, is super high-powered right now, man. They're figuring out ways to do it. just like the Cowboys, man. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. Matthew Stafford is definitely going to be a problem. And the Giants defense, I mean, if the Giants defense showed me that they could be like middle of the pack, I would have picked this in this game, I think. But right now that you heard all the statistics, man, that defense is right at the bottom of the league, man, and it's just really bad. I don't know what they're going to do defensively. Offensively, I have a lot of faith in this team, even without Kenny Golladay being on the field and without Saquon Barkley. I got a lot of faith. The Giants can't run the ball. I don't know who's going to run the ball. I would go and just chuck it every down. Forget the running game. Forget it. Screens and vertical passing all day long. Let me see Daniel Jones throw 40 times.
All right. So, look, Daniel Jones playing is a great thing. Now, Mike Glennon was playing. The things might be a little bit different. But shout out to Marjorie because on paper, the Rams and the Giants aren't too different.
What the hell did you just say?
I said on the paper.
Okay.
So, offensively, the Rams, shout out to Marjorie again for this. Offensively, the Rams are 9th, the Giants 12th.
Yeah.
Defensively, Rams 23rd, Giants 29th. Passing.
Yeah.
Rams 2nd, Giants 8th. Rushing, Rams 23rd, Giants 24th. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a big number you left off the board there, though. You and Marjorie. Shout out to Marjorie. Red zone offense.
Yeah,
Giants are 23rd in scoring right now. Yeah, the offense is ranked 12th, but how are you 23rd in scoring when your offense is ranked 12th? Sounds like a lot of garbage time to me.
Yeah, I mean,
what the hell did you just say?
That's so good, so good.
We say that on Xbox all the time when I'm playing Apex.
The face when you said it too. The face when you said it.
What in the hell did you just say?
Look, the Giants are obviously going to have a tough time in this game. The Rams have only allowed 4 sacks the entire season. So the offensive line for the Rams are really good. You're going to have to find a way to somehow get pressure on Matthew Stafford. One of the big things that I think is important for this Giants defensive front is to get their hands up. Matthew Stafford
saw a little bit of that last week. That was how Lorenzo Carter got that interception.
Exactly. And I think that's going to be important. I think that's one of the most underrated things when it comes to defense. If you're not going to get to the quarterback, get your hands up. You know what I'm saying? Make a play without making a play, but making a play, if you know what I'm saying.
I like that. Make a play without making a play, but making a play. Got you, Coach.
And look,
put me in.
You gotta watch out for the deep pass. And everybody knows Deshaun Jackson, if you're a New York Giants fan. And the last couple of games, Matthew Stafford has found Deshaun Jackson for a bomb. Yeah. So that's something you just got to keep.
Last week was a little post across the middle. He picked up 35 after he ran. It was definitely a good play. It was the only catch of the day.
But he's targeted him downfield, at least targeted him, the bomb. So that's definitely something you want to look out for. Now, the Rams did lose Darius Williams, their cornerback. He's on injured reserve. So that might be an area for you to be able to attack from your offensive side. And Jalen Ramsey has actually been lining up guarding the slot a lot more this year. He's lined up guarding the slot 56% of the time so far this year.
Oh, yeah, that's majority.
So there might be a way where you can, you have Ramsey lined up in the slot, you got the starting corner, out. That's just a side of the field that you might be able to look at and sort of attack. And I think having Sterling Shepard back is going to be huge for Tony, especially considering that we don't have Galladay in this week.
I like how you said we. Shout out to Giants Nation in the building one time. I do think that's maybe going to put Sterling Shepard on the outside, with Kenny Galladay being out. We know that last season Sterling Shepard played a ton on the outside. So I'd look for Kadarius Toney to be in the slot and Sterling Shepard to probably be on the outside.
So maybe that means Sterling Shepard has a big game, especially. And what's interesting, too, is that when he went out with the injury, Shepard was the guy. He was, top of the league in targets and receptions before he got hurt. So that could be something to your advantage. The guy that they're going to be going up against is a rookie named Rochelle. He's 6 foot, 193 pounds, out of Central Arkansas University. He's had 9 interceptions in his last 2 seasons at Central Arkansas University.
At Central Arkansas. I was about to be
No, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. So rookie cornerbacks can be that's one of the more difficult transition positions. So that might be something that you can look at as far as targeting. So I really, think having Daniel Jones gives you a shot But it's just the defense has to step up. But I think the Rams do win this game by a final score of 29-17.
Oh, that was really close to what I said. I think I said 29-17. I'm going to have to go back and check the tape. I got to go back and check the tape. That's good. I like that. 29-17, man. Yeah, like you said, though, I do think that the Giants have a chance. It's just you really got to get out and get going early, and that will give you the chance. Like I talked about this against the Cowboys. When you're facing these high-powered offenses like this, you got to get a 2-score lead in the first quarter. You got to take advantage. Those first – the first drive that's going to be scripted from Jason Garrett, that's got to be a touchdown type of drive. Put 7 on the board, find a way to make a stop, and then get another score. If you get up 2 scores, and if the Giants are leading at the half, I think the Giants can win this game, obviously. But I think that that's going to be the biggest problem. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been really, really good this year. You got to find a way. I think the Giants have a similar matchup to what the Washington football team has. You have to find a way to keep the quarterback on the sideline. So sustaining drives, and then when you get down in the red zone, scoring 7. 6 of 16 is not the vibe.
It's difficult with Booker.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very difficult. He's not really a great pass-catching style of running back. Neither does Gary Brightwell. Gary Brightwell's probably going to see some touches. I'm surprised the Giants didn't go out there and bring somebody up either from the practice squad or bring in another player. I thought it would be a guy like Alfred Morris, but Alfred Morris is not on the practice squad right now with the Giants. But, we brought him in last year, and he was all right.
Do we see Tony get some more carries this week?
Tony has not been that effective while running the ball. I think he had 1 carry last week, didn't get that much. Okay, and Lucas says I said 28-19, so very, very close scores. That's what's up. Good to have a chat in here correcting.
I had the 1 up.
Yeah, you had the 1 up, right? And 2 down. Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be tough, man, without Saquon Barkley. I mean, the Giants, the one place that they're really, really, really frustrating me is how they're approaching the running backs in the running game. We should have went out there and got somebody, man, like somebody proven, man. Like Cordero Patterson would have been perfect. He literally would have been the perfect Swiss Army knife that you could have used as a running back and a guy who could do things in the passing game. And then you use Saquon Barkley on the screens, all the third down stuff, give Saquon Barkley maybe a good 13, 14 carries a game. I think our running game will be much better off. But right now we got Penny. I mean, dude, Penny's a fullback, taking running back carries. Every time I see him get the ball, I'm just like, why? What are we doing? Y'all trying to get 3 yards at most? Okay, go ahead, give Penny the ball. Okay. He's a big guy, but he doesn't got that Brandon Jacobs vibe where he hits the hole and really gets you positive yards. First down has still been a problem for the New York Giants. Defensively and offensively, we're still struggling on first down. The Cowboys came in against the Giants averaging 8 yards on first down, and that they pretty much got it every time they, on first down. They pretty much were getting that 6 to 8 yards every time. Couldn't stop the zone running to the right. It wouldn't surprise me if the Rams come out and just run the ball all day until they have to pass, and then we're going to put 8 in the box and play action over the top, and that's over. So I don't got a lot of faith in the Giants in this game. Coming in banged up. It's just I don't know where to start, man. That team is just not a good team right now, And I guess it starts with the defense, man. Patrick Graham has been struggling all year long. Our secondary looks god awful. Linebackers look awful. He came out
and said some things today, didn't he?
I think so. I'm like, man, I'm done with the press conferences with them. I'm just like, man, show me Kadarius Toney. I don't care about the coaches. Y'all been saying the same thing every time. Can y'all – here's Patrick Graham every press conference, and I won't make this too long. He's like, I'm not focused on last week. As a coach in the NFL, I got to be focused on what's next. So I'm focused on the Rams. I'm focused – he don't even want to talk about how you got gashed last week, every week. And then Joe Judge, it's the same thing. I'm going to have to go look at the tape there. Right there. I'm going to have to go look at the tape right there. Bro, did you see when they asked Joe Judge about what was the question? When they asked him about if the play call on the goal line with Daniel Jones when he ran the ball, if that was scripted or if it was an audible, man, that boy was tap dancing around that question. He could not give a straight answer. He's like, well, the way that our offensive scheme is set up, sometimes a player can call an audible. Sometimes, it comes in with the play and we stick to the play. Other times it's this. On that one right there, I don't know. We're going to have to go back and look at the tape. Get out of here, man. I'm sick of seeing that in those press conferences, man. But, I just don't know. This game, it's not looking good to be a bounce-back game for the New York Giants. I'm going to keep it funky with you. I don't know who we got next week. I know it's another difficult game. Is it the Panthers next week maybe? Take a look at that schedule one time.
I was going to say, we can pull that right up for you.
It's the Panthers. The Panthers might be the bounce-back game to get 2 wins. So, go to 1-5 after this game. It's not going to surprise me, but I'll be rooting for the Giants on Sunday like I always am. I took off the old school 07 hoodie last week against the Cowboys, and we got thrashed. So I'm going to go back to that bummy
07.
Giants. Yeah, I got a bummy 07 Giants hoodie from back in the day.
07.
I'm going to go back to that one, man, and hopefully maybe we can find a way to find a miracle here. Miz was talking about miracles on Pat's stream last night and saying, man, if we can go out here and pull a miracle off against the Rams, watch all the Giants fans get right back on the bandwagon. I'll be praying for it, man. I'll be praying for it, but it's not looking good.
The Cowboys, think about this. The Cowboys are playing the Patriots. Giants are playing the Rams. We're playing the Chiefs. And right about now, Philadelphia Eagles are playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Those
it's
opponents.
It's a tough week for everyone but the Cowboys.
Yeah. That's
it's
crazy.
It's ugly. And we talked about this before week 1 when we did our predictions. I had the Cowboys getting out early. And I had the Cowboys at 8 wins. Yeah, we both did. And now it's looking like the Cowboys can probably get more than 8 wins because when it comes down to those divisional games at the end of the year, they seem like they're going to be able to win a lot of those because their team is just ready to go. Dan Quinn's got that defense looking really good. Yeah, they're giving up a lot of yards, but the takeaways is kind of flattening that out for them. And they're a really good team, man. Mac, the Giants fan, says the Bucs are in the red zone. So let's get to that game real quick, get a quick prediction. Now we know that the Bucs are in the red zone. That's pretty cool. We can kind of maybe adjust our predictions a little bit. I'm going to go with this old sample-style beat for this one right here.
Oh, somebody was asking who made that last beat. It was Awthentik.
Oh, yeah, I make all the beats that you hear.
All the beats.
On the stream, man. Some of these beats are from as early as like 2011. I try to cook. I got some new stuff, man. I told you I cooked up a couple, man. So we'll have some new beats on the podcast soon too. I try to add a couple every now and again and give y'all some new vibes. But yeah, you know what it is, man. Awthentik. All my beats are on allandnothingstudios.com/beats. Shout out to Sunday, who's always plugging those for me. Definitely appreciate that, man. But let's get to this next one, man. The Bucs at Eagles, man. Take y'all back with a little soul vibes from my man The Beard one time. Last time Tom Brady was on Thursday Night Football, he took an L to the Chicago Bears, where on the last drive of the game, he lost track of the downs and threw an incompletion on 4th down when he actually thought it was 3rd down. I don't know if you remember that. He was like, no,
I do.
It's 4th down. No. The Bucs went on to win the Super Bowl, so everybody forget about that. But tonight, the Bucs head to Philadelphia to take on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are coming off an upset win versus the Carolina Panthers last Sunday. And it will get no easier with the GOAT coming to town with the Bucs sitting at 4-1. The Beard, how do you see this matchup unfolding tonight on Thursday Night Football between Tom Brady and the Bucs and Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles?
I think it's going to be high scoring because Philadelphia doesn't run the ball. And even if they decided to run the ball, this would be the worst possible game to start deciding to run the ball because Tampa Bay's run defense is so good. But because Tampa Bay's run defense is so good, they have allowed a league-leading 37 receptions to running backs.
Oh, wow.
So this might be an opportunity for, a Miles Sanders / Brightwell. Is it Brightwell? Gainwell. I always mess this up. Gainwell.
Yeah.
Gainwell and Miles Sanders to have a big game catching the ball out the backfield. The Eagles are so up and down. I don't really know what team to expect. But if they want to win this game, they're going to have to force turnovers. I know Tom Brady's thumb is a little jacked up, but it's Tom Brady, so I don't really doubt that he's going to Tom Brady everybody. The Eagles are going to have to find some way to have some big plays down the field, whether it's Quez Watkins, Devonta Smith, Jalen Reagor, and then just balance things out, keep the ball moving, keep the chains moving. If you're not going to be able to do it by running the ball, hopefully you'll be able to do it by passing the ball to your running backs and using that as a sort of replacement for actually running the rock. But I do think Tampa Bay probably comes out on top of this matchup by a final score of, what was the spread? 3-7? I think Philadelphia covers the spread. So I'm going to go 33 to 28.
Yeah, you're trying to keep that spread covered.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to cover the spread today, man. I think Tom Brady and this offense is going to be too much. And the defense, man, let me give you a little nugget about that run defense right now. So teams are only running the ball on the Bucs 23.1% of the time. And while they're doing that, that's in the first half, actually. While they're doing that, the Bucs are only allowing 1.97 yards per carry. I mean, that run defense is stout. And today, I know they're dealing with a injured outside linebacker, and they got a young dude filling in who's filled in really well for them. The Eagles, they're averaging 5.2 yards per carry, which is really good, but they're 27th in rushing attempts. So we already know Sirianni's having trouble. There was a 2-game stretch there where they only had 13 rushes from the Eagles running backs. They're definitely struggling to run the ball here. Tampa Bay's pass attack, man, they're definitely balling out. They're producing a league-leading 349.4 yards per game, net yards, that is. And they're getting big plays in bunches, man. They have 28 completions that have gone over 20 or more yards. Antonio Brown last week balled out. I don't know if he's going to be playing tonight. I heard that he was coming in a little bit banged up too, but hopefully he's playing tonight. And then Leonard Fournette, man, playoff Lenny. He's back right now, man. He had 138 yards from scrimmage, his highest total as a Buccaneer in the Week 4 win against New England. And last week, he actually had 91 on the ground in that game against New England. And then last week, he had 110 total yards against Miami. So got his first touchdown of the season last week, too. And that helped us in the fantasy win, man. We got really lucky.
I was just going to drop it.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking for the Bucs to really take charge in this game. Mike Evans has really gotten it together. The first week of the year, he had only 3 receptions for 24 yards. Since then, he's had at least 6 targets in every game. At least 8 targets in every game, and he's had at least 75 yards or more in every game. So, in 2 of those games, he scored multiple touchdowns. I'd look for Mike Evans to really do his thing tonight. I think somebody said the Bucs already scored. I don't know who got the touchdown.
I took Mike Evans over 5.5 receptions in this game.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to get there. Make sure to check us out on the parlay Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Y'all know what it is. We ain't going to hold y'all too much longer tonight, man. I know y'all want to get to watching some football. It's 8:32 on the dot. We already got 1 score, I believe, from one team. Mike Evans, fastest player to 900 catches. Is that Mike Evans? That's awesome. I know Mike Evans also has the 7 or 8 straight seasons now with 1,000 yards. Broke Randy Moss's record one time. So, yeah, man, I got the Bucs. Let me give you a score before we get out of here, too. I almost forgot about that. I think the Bucs are going to take this one 34-21, I'll say.
Man. Mac, the Giants fan, did O.J. Howard score a touchdown? Because if so, that'd be awesome. I snuck him in my DraftKings lineup as a sleeper.
I like O.J. Howard. And Gronkowski came in banged up in this game. I think he's not on the field
out.
today.
No Gronk. So they're going, but there's so much crazy depth over there. O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, it's insane.
Brate's good too. Yeah, man.
Insane.
Definitely got a lot of depth. I saw that Dan was talking about if we were ever going to talk about college football, the Beard. That might be a vibe you might want to start, you start doing there, man, because when it comes to college football, I am out the loop. I do not watch no college football. It's enough for me to keep up with the NFL and the 32 teams in this league. College, you got about 32,000 teams. Hey, I do want to recommend a really good documentary before we get up out of here, man. There's a new series on Netflix. I forgot the name of it, but they focus on like scandals in sports.
Yeah, it's I can't remember the name of it.
I forgot the name of it, man, but it'll come up on your top screen if you pull up your Netflix. And the first episode was about Arizona State's basketball player. His nickname was Headache, and he was point shaving. I feel like Blue Chips was pretty much based on this situation. Just a fantastic story, man. I recommend everybody check it out. I'll put it on my Twitter once I look it up if y'all want to check me out on Twitter, and I'll recommend that documentary for y'all. But y'all know what it is, man. Let's keep the ritual going when we get up out of here. Y'all know what it is. Put some biceps in the chat one time. I talked about how, I forget who it was. I think it was Waterfly who had the biceps in the beginning. He puts every color bicep. I love that, man, because it's unity over here with Awthentik and The Beard. Everybody is welcome to come check us out. Y'all know what it is. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. We're trying to add some more days. And shout out to my homie Sunday one time in the chat, always holding us down. I see Glock is in the building one time. Y'all know what it is, man. It's been a really good show. Beard, before we get up out of here, left side.
Strong side.
Hey, man, y'all be good. Enjoy that game. Eagles, we need y'all to go down. Clip some wings today, man. Eagles fall flat on your face. I don't want to see a good game from Jalen Hurts today, man. Check us out on Sunday morning before the games, 11 a.m., the parlay, man. Until then, y'all be good. We'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.